Okay, now that you're familiar with the system strengthening cycle, listen, engage, discover, and adapt, let's get to work deepening your system strengthening design skills. Let's start with the 5 R's framework. Wait, you're probably asking, but what are the 5 R's? Well, let's see. They are the roles, relationships, rules, resources, and results that together capture the dynamics of a system and, more importantly, help you understand a system. Remember the system strengthening cycle from the last lesson? Well, the 5 R's help you identify what you should listen for, where you should engage, on what you should attempt to discover, and what interventions you need to adapt. The 5 R's framework was initially developed by the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID. Okay, so now that you know the 5 R's are roles, relationships, rules, resources, and results, let's dig deeper into the 5 R's with an example from a health system in Tajikistan. Let's start with roles. People and institutions are at the heart of the systems, right? They each have specific functions or roles they play within a system. Well, within the Tajikistan health system, the government is a single actor, but it plays many different and distinct roles in local and national health. The government is a convener of other policymakers, civil society, hospitals, and pharmaceutical companies. It's also a facilitator in the exchange of crucial resources, including tax revenue and donor funding. But the Tajikistan government is not the only actor who has a role within the health system. Don't forget about civil society organizations, hospitals, pharmaceutical companies, and the many other actors that have important roles to play in the healthcare system. Let's move on to the second R, relationships. Relationships are bonds that form between the actors in a system. In the context of the health system, relationships vary from deep, meaningful attachments between donors and patients to brief, impersonal contact between hospital staff and delivery personnel. While all 5 R's affect the structure, operation, and functionality of a system, this course focuses primarily on the first 2 R's, roles and relationships. Through system mapping, we will discover how to make visible the often invisible roles and relationships within a system. Okay, 2 down, 3 to go. Our third R is resources. I know what you are thinking. Resources, that means money, right? And yes, financial resources such as grant funding, government expenditure, and corporate investment flow through systems. But resources also include natural resources like rainfall and fertile soil, and human resources like trained staff. In the Tajikistan health system, resources take many shapes and are crucial to achieve healthcare outcomes. Resources include income from the patients paying for services and revenue from insurance companies. But aren't the qualified doctors and nurses, community health workers, and equipment such as X-ray machines also resources? Yes, they are. Roles, relationships, and resources are all impacted by the fourth R, rules. Rules are laws and regulations that govern a system, as well as religious and cultural norms, personal and institutional incentives, motivations, and expectations. In Tajikistan, formal laws define the role that doctors can play in patient care and determine the nature of relationship between hospitals and pharmaceutical companies. Informal rules, such as religious norms, on the other hand, impact things like reproductive health education and access to contraceptives for women and men. Do you remember the fifth R? That's right, results. And do you remember the definition of a system? A system is a group of actors connected by relationships working to achieve a goal, or in this case, a result, such as reducing HIV transmission, improving reading proficiency, or increasing access to clean water. Identifying results that the system is working to achieve allows us to define the system. For example, the Tajikistan health system includes all actors working to achieve the result of healthy citizens.